Hey there everybody, Eric from OUTER LIMITLESS coming at you today with another video. So if you own a house, today's video contains products that you could probably use. And if you own a car, you definitely could use today's products. If you own a soccer ball or a basketball or something like that, you could probably use today's products. In fact, what we're going to look at today is a product from the company Oasser, and in my opinion, no matter who you are, there's probably a product in their lineup for you. Now, in a prior video, we took a look at the Oasser P3 mini compressor. I needed a good quality, lightweight, and packable product to pump up a tent on an outdoor and backpacking excursion. This was, for me, the absolute perfect choice. Nice, small, compact, worked very well. This is a great little compressor. So I was talking with the people at Oasser, talking to them about additional products that they had, and we are today going to look at the P3. So this P3 dual purpose compressor and blower basically gives you the ability to pump up a number of different things. So whether it's car tires, basketballs, soccer balls, it doesn't matter. You could even inflate air mattresses with this. Multiple modes, different features, good overall quality. This has been an excellent product. Now, I've used this at length on a number of different occasions. I have a bunch to show you, and if you're interested in seeing a little bit more about what we're about to talk about, do me a favor. Stay tuned. So again, this Oasser dual purpose compressor, multiple modes and different ways that you can inflate things. Now, before we get too far, I would like to say thank you very much to the people at Oasser who have provided this product for review. Now, with that said, there have been a number of occasions where I was able to use this. On a regular basis, I do need to pump things up, whether it's maintenance on my truck, keeping my tires up to the proper operating pressures, my lawnmower, different things like my kid's soccer ball. Having a nice, easy to maneuver, battery operated compressor like this has been absolutely great. So with that, I do have some field use footage I'd like to roll in. Let's get to that footage and we'll come back and go over the features. So I wasn't quite ready to start this review of this Oasser compressor, but my kids are out there playing soccer, actually almost drilling me, and they're asking me for help pumping up the ball. So when I got this, I put it right on the charger. That was the first thing. I wanted to make sure it had full batteries, which it does at this point, so that's great. Now on the bottom, this comes equipped with hopefully the things I need in order to pump up this ball. So for example, stowed right in the bottom, there should be a needle. Yep, there you go. So I'm gonna drop that out, put this other little adapter back into place so I don't lose it. And then the next thing is there's a hose. So that goes there. Hose comes out. Now, let's see if this needle threads straight in there, but there's also another adapter, which I think I'm going to need, but I'll check it real quick. So as I get into this, oh, that does thread directly in. So that's pretty sweet. That's nice. So you don't need the adapter. That goes right in there, and that's good for sports equipment, balls, things like that, and that should work out fairly well. So just extracting the hose here. Now the power switch I have already found is underneath. So just slipping that on, turns on the LEDs, and let's see. Oh, that's a light. And this, there we go. So blower and compressor. So I'll put this on compressor, target PSI. I don't know what I really need for the soccer ball, probably like, I don't know, like 5. I don't even know what a good soccer ball gets pumped up to. So you see right there your target. I'm just going to dial that way down just to like 5 psi. That's probably more than I need, but we'll go for it for now. It goes in half psi increments. Let me see. How much pressure do you think goes in one of these? Does it say? It doesn't really say.
Nothing too heavy. I found a good...
I think like 5 psi.
Yeah.
Oh, it's already at 5. Alright, so we'll dial it up. Let's see. Target. I don't even know what a good target is. What do we put it on?
I don't know. Let's put it on any.
20? mean, that's 12.
Let me feel that.
Bounce it. Let me see.
I feel like a basketball now. That's good.
Is that too hard?
No, that's good.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah, that's way too hard.
Alright, so we need less than 12. I wonder if this can go backwards.
What kind of pump is this?
Let's see if it can go backwards. So can I like let air out? So it says it's at...
I need armrest.
Let's see.
Okay. There you go.
So it says it's at 13 even. So let's go down to 10. What happens if I turn it on? Yeah, it just won't go. So how do I release air out of this now?
Oh, you're doing it right now.
Well, yeah, it's just... But will it automatically release? No. That's just because that's not tight. So that says it's at 10.5. So you want a little out?
Yeah.
All right, I'll just crack that then. That's 8.5, 8, 7.5. So that's like 8 psi. So what you can figure out is how you like it,
Yep.
and then you just remember.
Oh yeah, that's.
Is that better?
Yeah. Yeah. That's how you do it.
Okay. All right. So about 8 psi is where this sort of topped off, and seems to be just about right for the soccer ball. Today's one of those mornings when you just get in the vehicle and it starts yelling at you that your tire pressure is low. Yep. Today is definitely one of those days. So for me, I'm looking for 42 psi power switch here, right on the front. Flip that on. Display comes on. Gonna dial the target to 42. So holding it down, it advances quicker. It just takes a second, then it advances quickly. So dialing it up from my previous settings, I'm actually just gonna go to 40 just to start. And now, let's see if this tube is long enough. As I put this on the ground and extend this to the top of the tire, it is not long enough to reach, so I am gonna have to hold it. Not a big deal, but it would be nice if this could sit on the ground and still do the job. Now getting this on here, it just threads into place. That's going fairly well. This is where it gets difficult, where if this could be on the ground, it'd be a little bit easier, but not a big deal. And now let's see. Boom. Fastest, it's a little slower than other compressors, but it is doing the job and it's fairly convenient, so you can't really complain. I opted just to go to 38 psi for this test, just to see how it works, because it is taking a little while. So that's 37.5. Oop, 38. There you go. So now to do all 4 tires, got to do the rest of the truck here. Just so that they're all even, but at that point definitely working quite well. So you can hear that was leaking just a little bit as it was on there. I don't think I was losing significant volume of air, but certainly not enough to change the pressure. So let's keep moving. Alright, so got my truck warming up here, getting ready to head out and getting close. But the main reason actually for running the truck, if you look here, the battery to me says it's about half used. Now, I thought I charged this completely. I'm under the belief that I did. However, even if I did and it's running out of juice, I've done 3 out of 4 tires. I'm going to test the power cord right now to see how long the cord is, see if it can make it to the back of the truck. So here we go, plugged into the power outlet, and then running it out the door. And it is, I would say, pretty much there. And that pretty much makes it for a standard size pickup truck. It's close. see here, based on my tire pressure gauge, very close. Now I can tell you that these were all at 38 when I got started. I've been driving around just a little bit, running a couple errands. But basically at this point you can see the tire pressure gauge working very well in terms of getting these to an accurate reading. Again, just keeping in mind all 4 of these were at 38. When I got up to temperature, they went up just a little bit. But the thing about the tire pressure monitoring system is they don't really change until you drive around a little bit. So you know, where I pumped these up using the compressor, they were still reading off until I drove a bit, and like I said, just doing a couple errands. But here you can see very, very close. So very pleased. That worked out very well. So I'm in the middle of getting ready for winter, and I have to get my snowblower out of here. But unfortunately, I need to move my lawn tractor. Now this has a slow leak, and these tires go flat on me usually at least once while I'm mowing the lawn. So while this thing sits here, it definitely just goes flat, and it's kind of a pain in the neck. But because I got my Oasser pump here, I'm basically just gonna get this thing going now. In terms of the target pressure, doesn't matter to me. It can be anything, I don't really care. I just need to get this thing pumping. So at this point, maximum of 10 psi. Now because it has a slow leak, I don't want to go that high. I know my tires are kind of dry rotted, unfortunately, but let's just let this go to 7. So that was super fast. I mean, literally less than a minute. This is all set. I'll do the other tire and I'll get this thing out of here. But having the portable compressor is great. I definitely enjoy this. So if you look here, on the upper right corner of the display, you'll see it has a full battery. Now before I pumped up that last tire, this was literally on the charger, fully charged. And one thing you'll notice as this runs, the battery indicator tends to go down, and then it comes back up when you turn it off. So keep an eye out, watch what I'm saying. But as soon as you turn it off, it goes back up. So I think it's just an interesting fact, something to keep in mind. So while you're running it, it's just a little, I guess, confusing as to what the actual battery status is. But overall, this has plenty of juice. Now it's just sitting here. You'll see it drop down to 5.5, but I believe it is 7. Yeah, so it's just kind of sitting stagnant. So yeah, this is all set. Let's get this thing out of my way. And so now getting into this here, I'll use the compressor to blow up this air mattress. So the first thing is removing the hose, and then here we have the in, and here we have the out. So here where I'm going to be blowing air out, I want this in the out, getting the hose into place. Now this does have a couple of different nozzle sizes, and I'm basically going to pick the one that I think will fit in here the best. That looks pretty good. Getting this into the on position, and go. mean, there you go. This thing is definitely like full out. That feels nice, good and firm. This worked very well and reasonably quick. So granted, this is a camping style air mattress, but it just shows you that for this volume, this works pretty quick. Definitely did a nice job, blew this up completely. So now at this point, let's go in reverse. We're gonna swap the nozzle around and we'll pull the air back out of this air mattress. So as I mentioned, pulling off the hose. Now we're going to the inside. So it's kind of the opposite of what you might think. Pulling this off. Again, same hose. Fitting that up and so that definitely took a little longer to deflate than it did to inflate. And the one thing I'd like to point out is when you're using the actual blower rather than the compressor mode, you do not have the ability to dial in the pressure that you're looking for. So as I was inflating this mattress using this hose, it's not the same as using the compressor hose. So for example, if I really wanted to dial in the pressure, I would have had to use the compressor part, not really the blower, if that makes any sense. So now back in the studio, taking a look at this P3 dual purpose compressor. As I put this on the scale, you will see it rings in at 3 pounds, 1.3 ounces. So generally speaking, not all that heavy. I mean, a good amount of weight, but I mean, 3 pounds, that's not that much. So that means that this is very, very portable, real easy to maneuver. Does not take too much strength to move this thing around, and that's totally the difference between a nice quality compressor like this that's portable and something that's going to be a floor unit, really heavy, difficult to maneuver. Oftentimes they have a very heavy, I would say, like air can in them. This does not. Now granted, this doesn't have a fast recharge, so your SCFM is not that high. The ability to pump things up is definitely there, but it's going to take a little bit, and that's what you saw with my truck tires. It took a little bit of effort, took a little bit of time, but it does do the job. So again, getting back into all of the features, this is a good durable construction. Everything on here seems to be sound. No plastic out of place, no extra little pieces or tabs or anything like that. It's really smooth to the touch, and that's well crafted. Now, as we get into the different modes, the first thing you'll see is underneath the handle, here is your power switch. So the idea here being you turn that on and it actually turns the unit on. Now this is one of your outlets. So if you have a wall pack, the wall outlet will basically plug into there, and then a slightly different location over here for the car outlet. So your car basically plugging into here, the wall plugging into here, so depending on what you're looking to do. Now that this is on, you'll see this does have a switch for the light and a decent LED. That's nice because if you're working at night or you have really a flat tire or you're on the side of the road or something like that and you need some light to help illuminate where you're working, that is definitely going to help. The other thing is you could conceivably at least use this to warn people of your location. So say you have this facing back towards traffic, it may be at least some indication that you're working on the side of the road. Now one thing that might be a nice add-on to this for a future model would be if this would blink, almost like a beacon or something like that. Again, just to draw people's attention to it. So if you're working on the side of the highway or the side of a road, and at that point, once you get the compressor going, it might be nice to switch this into an alternate mode to allow it to strobe to catch people's attention. So here, as you go through the different modes, these are all different standards. So for me, PSI is the norm. There's bars, kPa, kilograms per square centimeter, and then down on the bottom you will see your target. So dialing this up or down, you'll see the numbers do move fairly quickly. So I'll put this down to the bottom and we'll scroll through them. So you'll see here a minimum of 3.0 psi. This will not go any lower, and as you scroll backwards, a maximum of 120 psi. Now, as we go through this, as you hold down and long press, you'll notice that it starts to speed up and go through it a little bit quicker. So dialing up through the different psi targets, all the way up till you get to the point you want, and it seems to work very well. So again, in my truck, I ran it up to 38 psi. It got very close. I would say definitely within a reasonable tolerance, and that worked very well for me. Now the switch on the side is the dual mode. So down, that is your compressor. And when it goes to the compressor mode, you're pumping out of the bottom tube. So this is your compressor tube. So this has your typical fitting for a Schrader valve. You have a couple of different things that you can add on if you want. So installed in the bottom here, you'll see it comes with adapters of various types, little nozzle, and your needle to blow up playing equipment, different things like that. So sporting equipment, different basketballs, soccer balls, that will definitely work very well. Now it's nice that you have the ability to store all this on the bottom. What I can tell you is if you're not careful with the needle and how you place it, it will fall out. So you need to be a little bit careful, making sure that as you put it in here, you kind of pinch it towards the back so it can't accidentally fall out. So I find that I kind of nest it in there. That's really staying in place. It won't come out of there. And it is nice the way the entire hose and all of this goes right back into place. So it's nice and compact and clean and tidy, and just does a real nice job stowing away. Now the other mode here, that is the blower. So at that point, this is coming out of this hose here. So you'll see this hose has a couple of different nozzles, the ability to kind of neck this down if you want. So this can be used to inflate mattresses, air mattresses, things like that. So the dual mode is definitely nice. Now this can be used to deflate. So as I turn this on, this right here is actually sucking air. So this hose can go on either the blower side or it can go on the suction side. And that's nice because you can use this to inflate or deflate all the same. So nice quality, flexible hose. Seems reasonable quality. I bet you if you're not careful, you could crush this. But again, just like the rest of everything else, this stows away nicely, fits inside the unit, goes right into place, and gives you nice quality storage all in a compact package. Now again, this comes with both a wall plug for charging and also to run this, and a nice long outlet adapter for your vehicle. This vehicle adapter seems to me to be roughly about 10 feet of cord length, so definitely suitable. And in my case, you saw I was able to take it from inside the vehicle all the way to the back of my pickup truck for the rear tires. And finally, this comes with a case, so just a nice little soft bag to keep everything in. And for me, absolutely a nice piece to keep inside my vehicle, keep me at least some level of security. And that's the thing. You will notice if you look at the Oasser lineup, they have a bunch of products that are really useful. A number of things from battery tenders, chargers, jumping packs. They have different types of compressors. They even have small handheld vacuums. So Oasser definitely is a product line that I think has a lot of use for people, whether you're a homeowner, whether you own a vehicle, or whether you just have things that you want to maintain the pressure in. These products would definitely be good for you. So alright guys, there you have it. A look at this P3 dual purpose air compressor. Again, overall capability, very, very nice. I think generally the quality is definitely there. The overall durability, the idea that you can pump up a number of different things. This can easily be placed in the back of your car. It could definitely save you in a pinch. Now, there are a few things. Thinking about this a little bit outside of the box. Even if you have a spare tire, when's the last time you've actually checked the pressure in your spare tire? So let's just say you get a flat, you're on the side of the road, you put your spare tire on your vehicle. Well, then what? What if that's flat? Again, most people don't really pay attention to that. But if you also had a good quality compressor like this in the back of the car and the ability really just to top off your tires, I bet you at some point this thing's absolutely going to save your butt. So again, I'd like to say thank you very much to the people at Oasser for providing this full review. Generally speaking, I'm very happy with it. I'm happy with all the Oasser products I've looked at to date. They've been high quality, worked perfectly as designed. Overall, nice fit and finish, good quality components, decent batteries from what I can tell, and the overall functionality's been spot on. So alright guys, thanks for stopping by. I hope you like what you saw. I hope you found it a little bit informative. If you like what you saw, please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for stopping by. Take care now. I'll see you soon.